Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Microsoft 365 Pulse Roadmap recording. Today, you just get the Tam Tom show because Adam and Jen are off doing important business things. So you are stuck with the husband and wife team today. Um, as per normal, if you're not used to what we do here, we go through the roadmap and look for any new things that have hit in development, which means that Microsoft is working on it, rolling out, which means it's starting to work its way out to the clients and the tenants that it's targeted for. Then you've got launched, which means it should be out to the tenants that you're looking at now if you're one of those tenants. And then sometimes we will have cancels. We do not have any of those today, so it'll just be those three. And with that, let's go ahead and get started with in development. Tamara, what do you see that makes you happy this week?
Sure, Microsoft Teams walkie-talkie automatically listen to multiple channels. I thought this would be hard to do. It's due out in December. I'm like, how can you listen to multiple? It's like having multiple radios on. For those of you who don't know what a radio is, it's this old thing we used to listen to where music would stream on airwaves before the internet. But the walkie-talkie, a push-to-talk experience that enables clear, secure voice communication over the cloud, enables teams to communicate instantly on a channel. Now, through this new functionality, users can now connect to up to 5 favorite channels in a multi-channel mode, automatically listening to incoming transmissions from these favorited channels and easily to initiate PPT, push to talk, transmission on these channels. And that's rolling out in December for GCC and worldwide.
I think that's kind of cool. It's almost like having a police scanner.
Mm-hmm.
And, we don't use walkie-talkie here because it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I could see
Right.
where if you had like a number of channels and you needed to have somebody back at home base, kind of monitoring what's going on instead of having to flip back and forth between channels, just say, okay, monitor these five and let it treat it just like a police scanner. And for those of you who do not know what a police scanner is, that's old-fashioned technology where you could sit there and say, okay, I'm going to scan this series of frequencies, and it just keeps looping through until it hears a transmission and it stops. So it may be different police scanners or fire and rescue or stuff like that, which was always fascinating to me when I was growing up. But same
Yeah.
concept here. They're giving you five that you can listen to at once rather than just one at a time.
The other thing that interests me is Visio, containers in Visio for the web. So, containers are a powerful tool for organizing and managing complex diagrams. So, users with Visio Plan 1 or Visio Plan 2 license will be able to use containers in Visio for the web to create professional looking diagrams that are easy to understand and navigate. And that's coming out in March to the worldwide tenant.
They
What do you
keep doing,
got, Tom?
yeah, they keep doing some cool stuff in Visio there. A couple of
Mm-hmm.
things, three, but there's really only two. Microsoft Stream, new features to record your screen in Stream. So this is going to record your screen with fun picture shapes, new layouts, and easy access to the teleprompter. So it sounds like what they're doing is they're really working on making Stream not just a playback mechanism, but it's also a recording mechanism whereby you could, grab parts of your screen, have a teleprompter with a script there, and it should work really well for training videos. So I'm really excited to see how that plays out. It's due out in November this month for the worldwide tenant. And then the other two, which is actually one, and that is Outlook, updated Outlook settings for both Android and iOS. So the whole Outlook for insert your device here settings page is being updated to be better organized so that you can find the settings you need more efficiently. I know the few times I've tried to go in and make changes to Outlook, it always takes me a little bit longer than it probably should to figure out exactly what I'm doing. It's like, do I set this to swipe? Do I not set this as a tap? And so seeing something a little different here will be nice. Android's due out in January. iOS is due out in February, and that goes to the entire spectrum. So worldwide, GCC, GCC High, and DoD. Anything
Great.
else on in development?
Nope, I'm good.
Then let's roll on to rolling out.
I see what you did there.
Yay me. That's what happens when you let me run the show. So what would you like to talk about on this one?
Shortcut for calls in Teams. So Microsoft is changing the keyboard shortcuts used to initiate calls in Teams to create a differentiation from other commonly used shortcuts and reduce accidental calls. I guess this was a thing. The new shortcut for Windows will be Alt-Shift-A to initiate an audio call. So that's A for audio call. Alt-Shift-V for video calls. That's V for video. And for Mac OS, the new shortcuts will be Option-Shift-A for audio calls and Option-Shift-V for video calls. The other thing that I thought was interesting was the chat button on missed call activity.
Yeah.
So Microsoft says that you can easily stay in touch with your contacts after a missed call. A new chat button is added to your activity feed, enabling you to follow up on a missed call and start a chat with just one click.
And I think that's awesome. Instead of going, oh, I missed a call from person X. Now I need to go back over to chat, or I can call him, but I really don't like calling him without letting him know I'm about to call him.
Right.
So just to have that button there to go, okay, there's the chat. Let's start. Do I really need to call them, or can I get by in just the chat? So I'm liking that one.
Yep. What do you want to talk about?
So Microsoft Teams, Loop component in Teams channels. This one I think is really cool. I've been looking forward to this for a long time because Loop components in Teams have historically only been available in chat, either one-on-one or group chats. Now it's actually coming out to Teams channels, which I think is awesome. So co-create and collaborate using Loop components to channels. Share a Loop component like a table, a list, or a paragraph, so anyone in the channel can view and edit it, available in Classic and new Teams. So I think this would be great if you're putting, a post out there, and say you put a loop component in there for a paragraph that you want people's input on, or word cloud, whatever, and also to say, oh, and I want to cross post that to these other channels too. All of a sudden you can hit 5 or 6 different channels and everybody's working on that same loop component, which I think is awesome, to be able to get a single source of everybody's input instead of you having to gather everything up and then consolidate it on your own manually. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Then Stream mobile app. If you've been GCC H or DoD and you've been wondering, when do I get a new Stream mobile app to work with the new Stream? The completely rebuilt Stream mobile app on iOS and Android will soon be available for GCC High and DoD. So this is basically the replacement for the old version, which was Stream Classic, which is going away. So you've got that coming out at you. A couple other things here. In this one, I'm really interested to see what it looks like, because this has seemingly been we're going to do it. No, we're not. Yeah, yes, we are. Okay, it didn't work the way we thought. Well, later. And that is Outlook, Org Explorer. The Org Explorer for Outlook helps you to visualize and explore your company's internal structure, work teams, and individual roles. This feature will be available in the new Outlook for Windows and for the Outlook on the web. I shouldn't say I know. I seem to recall strongly that over the years they've tried to do organizational Explorer type things that have shown up and then disappeared, and we're going to roll it out and it goes silent. Apparently we're back to it's rolling out now. So I'm curious to see what that looks like. And then the final one that I will mention, Microsoft Teams, because everybody is Copilot crazy these days. Copilot Microsoft Teams is coming out and it's rolling out, due out this month. And Copilot and Microsoft Teams help users stay organized on top of all their information in chat, meetings, and calls, with the ability to ask Copilot any question and discover insights. Use one of the suggested prompts or enter a free text question on your own. Now, That's really cool. Just keep in mind that right now, Copilot is an extra thing that you need to purchase license wise. So it's not just going to show up one day in Teams and you're going to have all these wonderful goodies that you'd love to play with, unless your company goes through and actually pays the money for the Copilot license. You're not going to see the full range of what Copilot can do. So just keep that in mind. Anything else in rolling out?
No, I'm ready to launch.
And with that, go ahead and launch.
Sure. And you get Copilot, and you get Copilot, and you get Copilot. Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, and OneNote rolled out Copilot. This for the worldwide tenant. Again, like what Tom said, you do have to purchase Copilot. But Copilot in Word transforms your writing with efficiency and creativity. Create, summarize, ask questions, refine, and elevate your document. Copilot in Word can now help you draft content, bring in specific information from other documents, which I think is so cool, into your content, and then generate summaries, ask questions about your document, and get ideas about specific topics, and even transform text into tables or provide for suggestions for ways to rewrite your content.
I think
So,
that is
and then it
cool.
goes on to tell you all about what PowerPoint will do and Outlook will do. Create impactful communications in a fraction of the time. So basically, all of them summarize, make suggestions, and help you do things that you want to be able to do.
Yeah. The only Copilot one that is not in a launch state, and that is Excel. And Excel obviously is a different beast when it comes to, hey, looking at all these numbers, tell me what the average thing of blah, 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 so on and so forth is. To me, that's a lot more intense. And so it's taking them longer to get to the point where Copilot can do all the wonderful things that it can do in an Excel environment instead of just playing with words like you've got in Word or PowerPoint or OneNote or things like that. So it is coming. It wasn't an oversight. It just is taking a little bit longer to get that one actually rolled out. The other one that I will mention, Microsoft Teams, immersive spaces in Microsoft Teams. Immersive spaces in Teams makes it easier for team users to transform their meetings into a 3D experience. With just one click, you can connect with your team in a pre-built immersive space right from the view settings in team meetings. And so that's probably your legless avatar that floats around. That is launched. It wasn't supposed to be out till January, but apparently it's out now. I've sort of kind of in the whole immersive thing. I'm just not necessarily into it. The whole metaverse. Yeah, that's fine, but I'm probably too old for that kind of stuff, and therefore I'm not the type that probably would resonate with as easily as it would for maybe a younger type audience who would like to have the little avatars that float around. Because I know when they had the avatar pictures that you could use instead of your face on the video, first time I saw that, it's like, oh gosh, make it go away. Those are scary ugly. So yeah, I'm probably not the target audience on those.
No,
So
probably not.
anything else before we call it a meeting?
No, I'm all good.
Good. Well, with that, everyone, thank you very much for joining us. We will get this posted to all the usual locations so you can catch up on what's going on in the roadmap so you don't have to dig it all out yourself, because that's what we do for you. And with that, have a great rest of your week, and we will see you again next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye now.